Hello again, friends, and welcome to Doc G's Wine and Spirits Review. As you can see, I got out of the wine cellar and out here into this lovely spring weather. We've been blessed the last week with almost summer-like weather here in this part of the world. You can see behind me the dogwood is blooming, my Japanese maples and getting ready to pop, and everything around me has just got that full color of spring. So welcome to today's episode. What I'd like to deal with today is this is the time for a new esoteric red wine grape. We've already done Mourvedre as a red, we've done Firmint, and we've also done Chenin Blanc. So in the even numbered months of the year, we will be doing reds. And the red that we're going to feature this month is a grape called Gamay. So welcome to that show. But before we start that, since it's such a nice day, this has nothing to do with the presentation. It's just to make sure that my whistle stays wet while we chat. What I have here is very simply a Crémant d'Alsace, a nice sparkling. Look at that. It's ready to go. Whoa, a little bit. It's definitely ready. So there we go. It is a Pinot Noir Chardonnay combo, I believe. Usually that's what's in an Alsace, maybe a little Pinot Noir. All I know is it looks bubbly. It's got a wonderful nose. Cheers. Now we can begin. So let me introduce you to this wonderful grape called Gamay. You may have followed me long enough to know we did a segment on a French region called Beaujolais. And this is the main grape that grows in Beaujolais, but it is the name of the grape is Gamay. Beaujolais is the name of the place. So I actually took the time to write down, just so you know why I'm covering these red wines. I'm going to give you the top 10 red wines by worldwide production and see if you can you could probably guess a couple of them without me reading them. But they are as follows, and this is in the order of world production: Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Tempranillo, Syrah, Grenache, Pinot Noir, Sangiovese, Malbec, and Zinfandel. And typically, if you go into a halfway decent restaurant, these are the kinds of reds that you're going to find on the menu. You notice in this top 10 list, there is not Gamay. I didn't even look to see where Gamay ranks in worldwide production, but I know it is way off of this list. I would guess it might be in the top 20. It might not even be. That doesn't matter for our purposes today. The reason that I'm doing this wine is it's definitely not in this top 10. And I can tell you, looking at this top 10, you're not going to hear by the end of the year a presentation on any of these 10 grapes, because they are not. They're popular. This is a popular wine. It's just not a widely grown and widely known grape for those of us who might not explore beyond a Cab, a Merlot, Syrah, or a Zin. So today we're going to feature this Gamay grape. So Gamay, also known as Gamay Noir, I actually had the opportunity to visit the region. I was in Beaujolais. I went through the different areas where they grow the Gamay Noir grape, and I got to taste some fantastic wines. I got to talk with some of the vignerons in Beaujolais. They have, and I don't really want to talk about Beaujolais today specifically, because it is hard to talk about Gamay without mentioning Beaujolais, because 80% of the world's production, if not more, comes from this Beaujolais region in France. Some other cooler, it's a cool climate grape. Oregon does a little bit with it. I know the Finger Lakes had experimented with it. Switzerland has experimented with it, and I know Canada produces some as well, and I believe New Zealand does. But those are micro amounts. In the percentages that matter, if you look at a circle graph, 85% of that, 90% of it's going to show the color for the map of France. So this is mainly a French red variety. I don't want to say that exclusively, because that would not be true. But the Beaujolais wine, or the Gamay grape, we'll use those terms interchangeably here today just for reference points, is a wonderful red grape. I happen to always have a couple bottles of this on hand. The one I'm going to feature today is from the one of the Beaujolais regions called Morgon. There are 10 of them. It's not important that you memorize them. But I do want to tell you how you would get Gamay in general. I'm going to pour this to let it air a little bit. Beautiful color. Um, what happens with Beaujolais is it comes kind of in three varieties, or Gamay. You get the Gamay Nouveau or the Beaujolais Nouveau, which they released for Thanksgiving, which is wonderful for turkey. It's on the shelves. It's the first harvest it's just a fresh press. It's almost drinks like a white wine, and the wine is good for 2 months, and then you got to drink it. It's like it's got to go. It's fresh. It's a fresh wine. It's literally hardly been aged, and if aged at all. And then you have your Beaujolais Village, which is a combination of wines that are blended into a Gamay blend. That's probably the only time you're going to see the word Beaujolais on a bottle. I would be hard pressed for you. It might be a good assignment, and the first person that finds it can tell us. Go into a wine shop anywhere in the country and find the words Gamay on the bottle. You're probably not going to do it, because that's generally not how it works, because it's from France. And if you've been following me long enough, you know that wines from France generally do not put Chardonnay or Pinot Noir or Malbec or whatever it might be on the bottle. It says where it's from. It's Beaujolais, it's Bourgogne, it's Sancerre, it's Loire, it's Alsace. So the Crémant d'Alsace is a perfect example of that. This also happens to be a French sparkling. So there you have it in terms of dealing with the Gamay grape. So let's talk about what you can expect from the Gamay grape. And I'm going to post this little guide, these ones from Wine Folly. The wine generally features dark fruit, blackberry, raspberry, violet, a little bit of dirt. Sometimes you can get banana. I love it for it, and we're going to do a little sample here. Violet. Bingo. This is one of those wines that's going to really hit you on the nose. Most red wines that are not aromatic, like Malbec and Cabernet Sauvignon, sometimes they can be. They're not really known as aromatic red wines. This one is. That's really smooth. Not a lot on the palate, but what you get is on the nose. So. And it's best served in a glass just like this one to give it time to open up. It's a beautiful color. You can see it in the sunshine here. It's a quintessential food wine. So this one happens to be a Morgon. So if you're a inexperienced wine drinker and you walk into the store, this is a 2023 from a place called Domaine de Robert. It's got a gold medal for something, so it's good. I know it's good. I can tell you it's tasting really well here. This is from the appellation called Morgon. Others are Fleury. They are Fleury, Morgon, Côte de Nuit, Brouilly. I was there at Mont Brouilly, took beautiful pictures looking down over the valley. My favorites are Brouilly, Morgon, and Fleury. The others, and these are called Cru Beaujolais, Cru Gamay. They come from that specific region, and these winemakers are very proud of them. The good thing about these, if you want to go out, and even if you shop in PA, where I live, but if you go other places, ask the wine manager for a Cru Beaujolais. Don't bother with the Beaujolais Village. It's not very exciting. It'll be okay, but you're really going to get a nice bottle of red wine if you buy yourself a good Cru Beaujolais. So, some other facts that you'll want to know about it is it grows along with Pinot Noir, and it's right in the same area as it's a Burgundy grape. It's the other red from Burgundy, so it's not clarified or classified as a red Burgundy, but it in fact is. It's the Gamay Noir, and you can really get $25. These bottles, I forget, they ran right around $22, $23 a bottle. You don't have to spend much more than that. A Beaujolais Village will probably be $5 to $8 cheaper a bottle. So it's a wine that's got very low tannins. It's hard to go wrong with almost any food with Gamay. You can almost treat it like a white wine. That's why it's consistently chosen as one of those wines that works with Thanksgiving, because you know your Thanksgiving table, everybody's a little bit different, but there is a melody of different flavors and textures and spices and aromas that come as part of the Thanksgiving meal. It's also a perfect spring wine because as you get the aromas of spring, it reminds me of violets. I mean, the wine in the glass has violet. So, what foods would go? Any chicken dish that you might dream up, any ham dish, turkey, poultry, or duck. Um, you This would be good with salmon, depending on the seasonings that you put with it. It's great with all kinds of cheeses, from Monterey Jack to cheddar to brie. You don't want to get anything too strong. It's good with a wide range of spices. I'm not even going to bother reading them to you. Almost the only spice you might not want to put with it is something that's got heat. Doesn't want to go with that. Vegetables, it runs the gamut. I can imagine a roasted squash, butternut squash or acorn squash with this would be absolutely fantastic. So it is a quintessential. If you let me stop here and say this: if you have not had a Beaujolais yet, you're missing out, because this is a fantastic red wine, and it's not big and bad, but it is not a weakling either. It is just a great food wine. You can sip it. I mean, I'm sitting here sipping it. I'm not pairing it with anything. Wonderful violet. But I can tell you this: you'll only enhance it by putting some great food with it, as with any wine. So there you have it. You've got your Beaujolais Nouveau, which you can get usually right after Halloween. They release it in November. You can get your Beaujolais Village anytime, and you can get your Cru Beaujolais anytime. And I know most states, wherever you live, you just got to do a little digging, or if you search for wine on the internet, Wine Access, WTSO, whoever else you might use as your source of wine online, wine.com, you'll find some Beaujolais, some Cru Beaujolais if you want it. I know you will. I happen to buy this one in Delaware. I have them. Well, actually, I have it shipped from New York now, but it's the same company. It's a place called Moore Brothers, a very famous small wine merchant that I get a lot of these wines that I can't find anywhere else. So there you have it. It's the Beaujolais region. If you don't know where it is, if you know anything about French geography, it's right outside of the city of Lyon. I was there in 2019. My wife and I spent almost a month there, and believe me, we found some good Beaujolais. So there you have it, my friends. There's a little walk through our second red wine of the year. Again, to repeat, we just talked about the Gamay Noir grape, available at your local wine and spirit shop, no matter where you may shop, available online if you should want it. And remember, my advice to you is to try a Cru Beaujolais. The Beaujolais Nouveau, which means new, it's good. It's just it's kind of a sipper. It's good with turkey too. But you really want to get the experience of a Beaujolais, try a Cru Beaujolais, and you won't be sorry. So I'm going to let that one for dinner. We are actually having some chicken tonight. I'm sure that might be somewhere near my meal, but I'm going to close out by cleaning my palate, welcoming you to spring 2026. You can see the lovely air in the background, the lovely colors. And Doc G, just for future reference, I posted for you. We just got back from a trip to the Finger Lakes and came across some wonderful wines. And a couple friends of mine and I and my wife, we are going to be heading to Italy, to Tuscany. I will make sure I get at least one spot from Tuscany, because we are going to be tasting some really great Italian food and wine, and I'll be sure to bring that to you. So until then, ciao. And we'll see you then.